Hi everyone, welcome back to Bharathi English tutorials. Today we are going to do some exercises on active and passive voice. Before you watch this video, I would like to suggest you to go and watch my previous video, detailed explanation of active and passive voice. After watching that, if you try these exercises, it will be easy. Here are the questions. We practice yoga every day in the morning. What is the first rule of changing active into passive? Find out subject, verb and object. Now what is verb here? Practice is verb. Now who practice? We. We is subject. We practice what? We practice yoga. Yoga is object. Second rule, start passive voice with object. So begin with yoga. Now, third rule, use an appropriate be form. Sentence is in simple present. So, we need is, am or are. Yoga is third person singular. We use is. Yoga is, and third rule is always use V3 form of a verb. Practice, practiced, practiced is V3 form of verb. Yoga is practiced every day in the morning. Use a by preposition. By, we changes to us. Object form of we is us. By us. He will make all the arrangements. Make verb. He subject. All the arrangements object. So all the arrangements, we have will here. Right will. After will, shall, can, could, may, might, we need be. All the arrangements will be. V3 form of make is made. Made by him. The judge declared the verdict. Declared verb. The judge subject. The verdict is object. So the verdict declared. V3 form of a verb. The sentence is in simple past. We need was or were. The verdict is third person singular. We need was. The verdict was declared by the judge. They had already announced the results before we entered the hall. Announced is verb. Who announced? They. They is subject. They announced what? The results is object. Okay. The results, the sentence is in past perfect. Had. After have, has or had, we need been. The results had already been. V3 form of announced is announced. Announced before we entered the hall by them. This before we entered the hall. We can write either after the subject or you can write at the end of the sentence. You can write the results before we entered the hall had already been announced by them. So correct. Many students sacrificed their precious life for the sake of separate Telangana. Sacrificed is verb. Who sacrificed? Many students. Subject. Many students sacrificed what? Their precious lives. His object. Their precious lives. We cannot begin a sentence with their. So we have to use the. The precious lives for the sake of separate Telangana, you can write here or you can write later. Sentence is in simple past. Precious lives plural form were sacrificed. V3 form is sacrificed. Sacrificed for the sake of separate Telangana. By who? By many students. Next one. The students borrowed some books from the library. What is verb? Borrowed is verb. Who borrowed? The students. Subject. The students borrowed what? Some books. Object. Now begin the sentence with object. Some books. The sentence is in simple past. We have V2 form of a verb. We need was or were. Books plural form. We need were. Some books were borrowed from the library by the students. Nobody can save him. Save verb. Nobody subject. Him object. Begin with object. Him, when it comes to subject place, it will become he. He cannot be saved. Or you can write he cannot be saved by anybody. This by preposition you can use or you can avoid. Switch off the lights. Sentence is in imperative and it's an order. So imperative sentences we use either let or should. So use let. Let, what is object? The lights. Let the lights. So with let we use be. Let the lights be. V3 form of switch is switched off. How much loan amount has the bank sanctioned? Sanction is verb. Who sanctioned? The bank. Subject. The bank sanctioned what? Loan amount is object. Now when sentence starts with how much, let that word remains the same. How much. Now what is object? Loan amount, and begin passive voice with an object. So write loan amount. Now helping verb we have in the sentence is has. That is perfect tense. Sentence is in perfect tense. And with present perfect we have to use been. So after has, have or had we need been. Has been. And what is the V3 form of verb? Sanctioned by the bank. Money alone can't solve all problems. Solve is verb. Who solve? Money alone. Subject. Money alone solve what? All problems. Object. Begin the sentence with object. All problems. Write same cannot here. Can't. And after can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, we have to use be. Can't be. V3 form of solve it. Solved. Can't be solved by money alone. Please maintain silence in the prayer hall. Here it is a request, imperative sentence. If it is a request, we need to begin a sentence with you are requested to. After that, write the sentence as it is. You are requested to maintain silence in the prayer hall. We have to undergo many formalities for getting visa. What is verb here? Undergo, verb. Who undergo? We, subject. We undergo what? Many formalities, object. So begin with object. Many formalities. Helping verb we have. Need to write same helping verb. And after have we have T word to. Need to write same to. Now after T word to we need be form, that is be. So many formalities have to be. Undergo, V3 form is undergo, underwent, undergone. Undergone. V3 form is undergone. For getting visa by us. Here by preposition we can use or we can avoid. The workers called off the strike. Called is verb. Who called? The workers, subject. The workers called off what? The strike, object. So begin with object. The strike called, V2 form. Sentence is in simple past. We need was. The strike was called off by the workers. The teacher is explaining the lesson. Explaining verb. Who is explaining? The teacher, subject. The teacher is explaining what? The lesson, object. So begin with object, the lesson. You have helping verb is, write is. And sentence is in continuation form. We need being. Explain, V3 form. Explain, explained, explained by the teacher. The parcel will be delivered at any time. Deliver is verb. Who will deliver? Here subject is not given. Someone or the delivery boy. You can write. Okay, someone deliver what? The parcels. Here it is an object. Now you see, sentence started with an object. And you have a be form. After will, shall, can, could. If you have be form, it means the sentence itself is in passive voice. Clear? Now here subject is not known. So you can use a general one. You can use they or you can use he, or you can use the delivery boy. Okay, so I'm going with they. They. After subject we have helping verb will here, so write will. This BEB is extra one we added in passive voice which is not needed in active voice. So avoid using BEB. So they will deliver. After will, shall, can, may, might, V1 form of a verb. They will deliver the parcels at any time. Here the sentence is in passive voice. We change it into active voice. Okay, next. Surya was invited to tea by Chandra. Invited verb. Who invited? Chandra invited. So Chandra is subject. Chandra invited who? Surya. Surya is object. So sentence begin with an object and you have a by preposition. Okay, and one more indication that the sentence is in passive voice, that after is, am, was, were. In active voice we will find ing form of a verb, but here you see after was we have V3 form of a verb. So it is a clear indication that the sentence is in passive voice. Now we need to change it into active. By Chandra, here it is our subject. Start with subject. Chandra was. This be form was is an extra one we use in passive voice which is not needed in active. So just avoid this was. Chandra invited Surya to tea. Traffic rules should be followed. So here it is a suggestion and you have should be. So sentence is in passive voice. We need to change it into active. And it's very simple. Follow traffic rules. Vegetables are washed before cooking. Are washed. If B3 form of a verb comes after B form, then the sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active. Vegetables are washed before cooking. Now subject is missing. Okay. So you can use any. I wash vegetables before cooking, or they wash vegetables before cooking. Everyone wash vegetables before cooking. You can use either one. So I wash vegetables before cooking. Let the following sentences be changed into the passive voice. Here by preposition is not given and it started with let and we have be form. So sentence is in passive voice and by preposition is not mentioned. So we consider it as we. Okay. So we can write let us change the following sentences into the passive voice. Okay. How many times were you reminded of the medicine? Sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active. Here by preposition is not mentioned. So you can consider I or they. How many we need to write as it is. How many times? Sentence is in past form. We have a did. You can use subject as I or they. Did I remind you of the medicine? Let the dustbin be kept away from the eatables. We have let and we have be form. Okay. So sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active. Keep the dustbin away from the eatables. Have all your friends been invited to your birthday? The sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active. So start with have. Subject is not mentioned. You can consider you. Have you invited all your friends to your birthday? Every sentence can't be changed into the passive. Right after can, you have be form. So sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active. By preposition is not given. So we can use we. We can't change every sentence into the passive voice. If the ointment isn't applied to the wound, it will not heal. The sentence is in passive voice. Isn't. You have is and after that you have V3 form of a verb. So sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active. Here also by preposition is not mentioned. Subject is not mentioned. We consider subject as you. If you, simple present, if you do not apply ointment to the wound, it will not heal. Rainwater fills potholes on roads. Sentence is in active voice. Change it into passive voice. Fills is verb. Rainwater subject. Potholes object. Potholes on roads are filled by rainwater. He is buying a TV set at the moment. Buying verb, he subject, a TV set object. So a TV set at the moment is, after is, am, are, was, were, we need being. Is being. Buying V3 form. Buy, bought, bought. Is being bought by him. I have planted 100 saplings. Planted verb, I subject, 100 saplings object. So 100 saplings, you have. So sentence is in present perfect tense. We need been. After have, has or had, we need been. 100 saplings have been planted so far by me. They were reading the newspaper. Reading verb, they subject, newspaper object. The newspaper, we have helping verb were, but here the newspaper is singular, so we need was, singular form of were. The newspaper was, ing form of a verb, continuation form, we use being. After is, am, was, were in passive voice, we need being. Being, read V3 form. Read, read, read. Being read by them. She had answered it already. Answered verb, she subject, it object. It, need to write had. After have, has or had, we need been. It had been already answered by her. I will write an essay tonight. Write verb, I subject, an essay object, an essay will, and after will, shall, can, could, may, might, we need be. An essay will be, write V3 form is written tonight by me. You will have posted it by Monday. Posted verb, you subject, it object. It, you have will, it will, you have also, write that also down. It will have been. After have, has or had, we need been. It will have been posted by Monday by you. Can she play the violin? Interrogative sentence. Play verb, she subject, the violin is object. Now can, write can here. Can the violin, after can, could, may, might, we need be. Can the violin be, play V3 form is played by her. They may not telecast it. Telecast verb, they subject, it object. It, we have may, it may, we have not also, write it down. It may not. After can, shall, should, may, might, we need be. It may not be telecasted by them. One must do one's duty. Duty must be done. Call in the doctor. Here it is an imperative sentence. Use let. Let the doctor be called in. Close the door. Imperative sentence. Use let. Let the door be closed. The government has to do it. Do verb, the government subject, it object. It has, we have to, write it down. It has to, after to comes be. It has to be done by the government. Someone has already cast my vote. Cast verb, someone subject, my vote object. Begin with object. My vote has already been cast by someone. Here cast, V2 and V3 form also cast. Here it is cast, cast, cast. Okay, it's not casted. It has to be cast. Cast V1, V2 also cast, and V3 also cast. Like we have put, irregular verbs. Put, like cut, cut. So cast, V3 form is cast. Who could help him? Help is verb, who subject, and him is object. Start with object. He could be helped by whom? Or you can write by whom could he be helped. He was seen crossing the road. Was seen, sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active voice. By preposition is not given, subject is not mentioned. We can use I. I saw. I use saw because sentence is in simple past. We have was here. I saw him crossing the road. You are advised to be careful. Sentence is in passive voice. So change it into active. Be careful. Be careful. It's an advice. Let the picture be seen by me. Sentence by me. We have by preposition. Sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active. Let me see the picture. Her purchases were paid for by me. Here by preposition we have. So sentence is in passive voice. Change it into active. I paid for her purchases. There are no shops to be let. Sentence is in passive voice. We have to be. Start with there are. There are no shops to let. She has been selected their monitor. Sentence is in passive voice. But here subject is not mentioned who selected her their monitor. So we can use they. They have selected her their monitor. It is said that the earth is round. If it starts with it is, we need to use people. People say that the earth is round, remaining same. Or you can use the earth is said to be round. The road had been repaired. By preposition is not mentioned. Subject is not mentioned here. So here you can write they. They had repaired the road. Been is extra in passive voice that we will not use in active. I am surprised at this news. This news surprises me. Surprise takes at, not by. It is hoped that I shall win. I shall be hoped to win. Or I hope that I shall win. I have made a mistake. A mistake has been made by me. Your students will respect you a great deal more for your frankness and honesty. Now what is verb here? Respect. Okay. Who respect? Your student subject. Your students will respect to who or what? You. You is object. Begin with object you. You will be respected a great deal. Remaining words you can use here. A great deal more for your frankness and honesty by your students. Call the attention of your near neighbor at the table to the excellence of. Remaining part is not seen, but here call the attention. The sentence is imperative. We use let. Let the attention of your near neighbor at the table to the excellence of be called. I did not write. I am not writing. Be called. So use let because the sentence is imperative. Do you apply Pythagoras theorem or Newton's law? Apply verb, you subject. You apply what? Pythagoras theorem or Newton's law of gravity. So begin with object and here it is a question. Do. 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 Sentence is in simple present. So use is. We are using is because subject is singular. Is Pythagoras theorem or Newton's law of gravity applied by you. Rahul lost a quarter mark in English. Lost is verb, Rahul subject, and a quarter mark in object. Begin with object. A quarter mark. Lost, simple past. Sentence is in simple past. Okay. A quarter mark was lost in English by Rahul. She planted trees, fenced, watered and guarded them. Planted verb. Who planted? She subject. She planted what? Trees. Object is trees. Begin with object trees. Planted, past form of a verb. So we need trees were planted, fenced, watered and guarded by her. Instantly remove that batter. Here instantly remove that batter. It's a kind of suggestion. So we can use should. Object is that batter. That batter should be removed instantly. Their hope and encouragement gave me greater strength. Gave is verb. What gave? Their hope and encouragement. Subject. Their hope and encouragement gave who or what? Gave me. Me is object. Begin with object. I. Sentence is in simple past. We need was. I was given greater strength by their hope and encouragement. They have been laying this road for 10 years. Your sentence is in present perfect continuation. If the sentence is in present perfect continuation, we cannot change it into passive voice. I wrote this example to let you know that sentences in present perfect continuation or past perfect continuation or future perfect continuation, we cannot change them into its passive form. Okay. I told them an interesting story. Told verb, I subject. I told what? An interesting story. I told who? I told them. Now we are getting answer for both who and what. Right? It means you have two objects. Answer to the question what is object 1 and answer to the question who is object 2. So we have two objects. So when you change such kind of sentences to its passive form, you can use either of the object. You can begin with object 1 or you can begin with object 2. Let's begin with object 1. An interesting story told, simple past, we need was. Story was told them by me. Or you can begin with object 2. Them, subject form is they were. They is plural, we need were. They were told an interesting story by me. Narayan Murthy started Infosys. Started verb. Who started? Narayana Murthy. Subject. Narayana Murthy started who or what? Infosys. Object. So begin with object. Infosys. Sentence is in simple past. We need was. Infosys was started by Narayana Murthy. Someone admitted him to the hospital immediately. Admitted verb. Who admitted? Someone. Subject. Someone admitted who? Him is our object. He admitted V2 form. Sentence is in past tense. He was admitted immediately by someone. Here someone you can use or you can avoid. By preposition can be avoided. The manager sent a mail yesterday. Sent verb. Who sent? The manager subject. The manager sent what or who? A mail object. So begin with object. A mail sent. V2 form of a verb. Sentence is in past form. We need was. A mail was sent yesterday by the manager. The conductor has issued tickets to all the passengers. Issued verb. Who issued? The conductor subject. The conductor has issued what? Tickets object. Now begin with object tickets to all the passengers. Tickets is in plural. We need plural form of has, that is have. Tickets to all the passengers have. After have, has or had, we need be form been. So tickets to all the passengers have been issued by the conductor. Hope today's video is useful and you learned something. Thank you so much for choosing this channel to learn English. See you soon with some other topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.